We're here on the West Shore in front of the West Shore Chamber of Commerce in beautiful downtown Langford, and I've got a cool story I want to share with you. The West Shore Chamber of Commerce is proud to present the launch of West Shore Living TV. And the interesting part for you is that it's going to rely on storytellers from the community. And that means people like you and I. Dan, tell me a little bit about the stories you want people to share on West Shore Living TV.
Craig, we're really excited about this. You know, the West Shore is a growing, thriving community. Our unemployment is the lowest probably in Canada. It's a very dynamic, happening place. But not everybody knows that, right? And not even everybody in the West Shore understands that. In a sense, it's a community being born, right? So the purpose of the TV show is to let the community tell its own stories, and there are many great stories out here.
Dan, what kind of volunteers are you hoping to have involved with in West Shore Living TV?
This show is only going to work if people on the street, in their houses, in their offices, in their businesses, come to us and tell their stories. We're looking for two kinds of volunteers. People who want to be community correspondents, like the work you're doing today, which we appreciate, and people who want to be behind the camera, maybe have technical skills, who will be trained by Shaw TV.
What type of stories are you hoping they tell?
We like stories large and small. You know, we have a shop owner who only hires youth at risk. And we discovered about 6 months ago that he's dying of a serious cancer, and he decided to spend all of his last money on these kids. So there's tiny stories and there's big stories. There's wonderful artists out here, there's wonderful locations out here. There are so many stories, they all need to be shared, they're all very exciting.
How important are these volunteers going to be to the overall product that makes it on TV?
Craig, they're crucial. In fact, I want to mention something else we haven't talked about, which is we're going to have a completely interactive website so that all the material we get can go up in YouTube channels, can be in interactive blogs and tweeting, et cetera, so that we think we're going to have more material than we could possibly show in our half-hour TV show, but it nonetheless will be on the website and available to everyone. So yes, it's to encourage people like yourself and others who might be new and beginning or haven't even thought of themselves, but there's lots of great storytellers around, there's lots of great stories. Let's find them together.
Now, the West Shore has experienced a lot of growth over the past few years. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing regions in the whole province. Where do you see the direction of the West Shore heading forward?
That's a great question, Craig. We want not only to grow, but we want to grow smart. We want a healthy community. When you grow as fast as we are, and by the way, it's on average 10 to 12% per year compounded, you have infrastructure challenges. We need new roads, we need a rail system, we need new schools. Our big problem, and it's a good problem to have, is to get our infrastructure to catch up with our growth. But if we can maintain a very healthy community, we think it's going to be a terrific place for years to come.
Dan, tell us a little bit about the West Shore Chamber of Commerce itself and some of the events and activities you guys are involved with in the community.
The Chamber of Commerce here is a very different chamber than most chambers across the country. Right in the middle of our charter, we have a commitment to the sustainability and health of our community. So what this chamber is not just a voice of business, it's a chamber that takes responsibility for carrying out activities that help the entire community be healthy. For example, we have a Healthy Communities Council, school boards on it, nonprofits are on it, municipalities are on it. We're looking at all kinds of things across the West Shore. What makes the West Shore work, and what are some of our challenges? We have many events throughout the year. We're probably Canada's fastest growing chamber. We're growing at 20% a year, which is a good problem to have. And we have a very active membership. Our members, 85% of them live in the West Shore. So they're instinctively involved in their community. They're already at church and they're coaching soccer or whatever. They really do triple bottom line without even necessarily knowing the language of it. Once you give them best practices, you can teach them what it means to be truly sustainable as a community.
So we have another big announcement today I'd like to make on this segment. We've got Jerry St. Cyr with us, and he's one of the new hosts of West Shore Living TV. Jerry, do you want to tell us a little bit about your involvement in the West Shore over the years?
Well, I mean, I'm recently moved back here 6 years ago to be back into a community that I had a hard time leaving, and very excited to be back in this community and see what's been going on here when I did leave for a few years. But I mean, it's a community that is like no other. I mean, we move forward, we don't move sideways or backwards. And you know, when Dan and the chamber came to me and said, hey, do you want to get involved in this great thing that we're doing in the community? I said, absolutely. People need to know what we're doing out here.
Now, Jerry, you've got a lot of involvement of sports over the years. People don't know out there, he's actually an ex-NHLer, and more importantly now, a former Victoria Cougar. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with sports here on the West Shore. I understand there's a new sportsplex that you're involved with.
Well, we've been with it now for 6 years. It just recently opened the new bowling alley that we have in town and the new ice arena. So something that's very excited. People have been waiting for bowling in this community for 7 years since we lost our lanes downtown. You know what? It's exciting.
What do you want to hear from some of the people who are going to be volunteering to be hosts on this program?
I think the biggest thing is just, tell your story. I mean, this is a great community. We have a lot of great events going on out here, and I think the rest of the Greater Victoria need to know about it. We have things going on here that are like no other around the Greater Victoria area, and people want to come out and tell their story, and I think this is a great avenue for people to come out and tell their story to the public and let them know what's going on.
So if you're an amateur photographer, camera person, editor, or want to be a reporter like me, this is a great opportunity for you to get involved in something new. West Shore Living TV is going to launch in January and is relying on storytellers from the community like you. If you want to get involved, send in a write-up about yourself telling us what you want to do, and it wouldn't hurt to include a 2-minute video clip if you want to be a reporter on the show. In the meantime, pick up a copy of West Shore Living magazine. I'm Craig Sorokin on the West Shore.